Hey there and welcome back to Wrestling Bites. Let's get the show on the road. Wrestling Bites brings you the latest in wrestling news for the week, so sit back and relax as we take you around the world of wrestling. Now in today's video, we're going to look at some of the interesting stories revolving around the big names like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Karrion Kross, Carmelo Hayes, and Naomi. We'll also check in on Sheamus's recovery from the brutal attack at the hands of the Bloodline. When can fans anticipate Becky Lynch making her comeback to WWE? And how Triple H is really doing now that he's tested positive for COVID-19. So let's get started. Will Roman Reigns wrestle Cody Rhodes next year? This year's WrestleMania marked Cody Rhodes' comeback to WWE after an absence of several years. Unfortunately, he has been sidelined because of a torn pectoral muscle, which has kept him from participating. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, it is likely that he will return sooner than the Royal Rumble, and he may be considered a rival for Roman Reigns at that point. The last time we saw these two characters square off against one another on screen was during the Shield's conflict with the Rhodes brothers. The last time Reigns and Cody Rhodes competed against each other in tag team competition was in 2013. Fans will have a lot of interest in a bout against the Tribal Chief because Cody Rhodes has become one of the most popular babyfaces in the industry. Number 2. A fresh WWE contract offer is on the way to Naomi. After walking out on Raw due to a dispute about their creative intentions, Sasha Banks and Naomi are yet to make their return to WWE. The reason for their departure was a disagreement. Since this happened when Vince McMahon was in charge, it was thought that they would come back when a new boss took over. According to recent reports, Naomi is now in the process of negotiating a new contract with WWE. Number 3. What's going on with Triple H? Due to a positive test for COVID-19, Triple H was unable to appear on the most recent episode of Raw. Road Dogg, a reliable assistant who worked for the game, replaced Triple H as the person in control of Raw after Triple H left. Reports from Fightful, on the other hand, said that the screenplay for Monday Night Raw was completed and ready to go by Sunday evening. Also, it's reported that Triple H is in good health and should be able to go back to his duties backstage soon. Number 4. Future WWE endeavors for Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, who had held the title of NXT champion, had been absent from the main roster for the previous few weeks. At first, it was thought that the Japanese star would gain a significant boost as a result of Triple H assuming control of the creative team. Despite this, he has not yet been featured in a significant plot since the current administration took over. The former Royal Rumble winner had his comeback to NXT the week before last and is expected to be a fixture on the show. Shinsuke Nakamura's most recent SmackDown televised match was nearly 6 weeks ago. This week on NXT, he returned to TV when Channing Stacks Lorenzo's opponent in a match turned out to be him instead of someone else. According to a report by PW Insider, Nakamura's presence on the third brand of WWE was not a one-time only occurrence. Since Nakamura beat Lorenzo, it is likely that he will be on NXT more often in the days and weeks to come. However, it is unclear whether he will return to the company on a full-time basis at this time. Apollo Crews and Mandy Rose are just two of the many main roster superstars who have previously made the move to NXT from either Raw or SmackDown. Number 5. The latest on the return of Becky Lynch to WWE. Becky Lynch, a former multiple-time women's champion, has been absent from WWE television ever since she sustained an injury during her battle against Bianca Belair at SummerSlam 2022. According to a story that was published by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, members of the creative team for WWE are hopeful that Becky Lynch will return to Monday Night Raw before the end of 2022. Nevertheless, there is no assurance of the same, and it is primarily a matter of their having an optimistic outlook. Earlier this month, it was revealed by Zero News that Becky Lynch is being considered as a potential winner of the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match, with the final intention being for Lynch to compete against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 39. Number 6. WWE star praises Triple H. A recent interview with WWE star Karrion Kross focused on Triple H's management style and his goals for the company's product, as well as how he utilizes talent. After the Doomsday Superstar's disappointing tenure on the main roster, both Karrion Kross and Scarlett were let go from WWE. Despite this, Kross was able to make his way back to the organization when Triple H assumed control of creative, and ever since then, he's been engaged in a contentious feud with Drew McIntyre. In an interview with Give Me Sport WWE This Week, Kross claimed that Triple H was skilled at determining which program would be most beneficial to the company. He went into detail about how the game was able to take into account what he and Scarlett brought to the table and how they utilized it to offer the fans what they wanted to see. Number 7. Sheamus's health following the Bloodline's brutal attack. On the most recent episode of SmackDown, a one-on-one match between Sheamus and Solo Sikoa was featured. The Celtic Warrior had a bad night when he was attacked by the Bloodline and severely beaten. After the match was over, the Bloodline mounted a 4-on-1 assault on Sheamus to finish him off. The Usos placed his arm on the steel steps and proceeded to bash it with several chair shots. Later on, WWE issued an update in which they stated that the leader of the Brawling Brutes had suffered a non-displaced fracture near his elbow and was being observed for the time being. During the entirety of the match, Solo kept his attention on the injured shoulder of his opponent. Even better, he finished off with a Samoan drop off the top rope. Solo Sikoa did not waste any time in taking to social media to express his excitement following a victory that was both remarkable and controversial, given it came at the expense of Sheamus's health, who had previously won the World Championship 4 times. In a tweet, the young Samoan made fun of his rival while simultaneously revealing that the Bloodline has complete control over the company. This is what the tweet said: "Banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. We the ones." Number 8. A current WrestleMania star has expressed interest in competing against John Cena and Edge for the very first time. Carmelo Hayes, a top superstar in WWE, has just named John Cena and Edge as the wrestlers he would like to face in the future. Hayes, who is only 28 years old, has already demonstrated that he is one of the most promising young talents in the industry today. In spite of the fact that he's only been with WWE for a little over a year, he has already won the NXT North American Championship as well as the Cruiserweight Championship. Since Hayes already possesses such an incredible resume, he was recently questioned by The Ringer about which WWE legends he would like to collaborate with. This is what he had to say: "I'm going to say all the guys that are probably more on their way out than the guys that are more realistic, but I'd love to work with Edge." Hayes added, "I'd love to work with Cena. Man, there's just so many." Because John Cena is concentrating his efforts on his career in Hollywood at the moment, it is possible that a match with him will not take place. On the other hand, given that Hayes is now a part of the Raw roster and that Edge is always willing to work with up-and-coming talent, it is possible that the two of them will compete against each other at some point in the future. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments down below. Also hit that like button, subscribe to Wrestling Bites, and turn on the notification bell so you're notified when we post new content. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.